What is up, Mavs fans and hoop heads? Wish everyone good vibes out there. I'm AG, your host. Welcome on into another episode of Mavs Rundown. Been a minute, y'all. It's been a minute. And, I appreciate you all for listening. And, it's been a while, and I just wanted to recap. Hasn't been so much news, but I wanted to recap on some things and, put my thoughts out there on a couple things coming up about this Mavs squad. And first we got to start off with Eurobasket, man. Like, dude, Luka got his team all the way, to the second round of Eurobasket against Poland, and Poland pulled the upset. And I was watching that game, man, at work, and it was tough, man. They were just, got cold, and Luka only finishing with 14, 11, and 7. But hey, man, they did really good, and someone pointed out the stat that Eurobasket. It's a March Madness style of basketball. So of course it's not going to be a repeat winner. So just it's okay that these guys get out. It is what it is. They play great team ball. That's why there's always these upsets. Anybody can win. It's also why it makes it fun and exciting to watch. So I thought that was pretty cool to bring the light on that. But it does suck now that the three best players are out: Luka, Giannis, and Jokic. So honestly, I haven't even kept up with what's going on anymore. But hey, man, Luka in there was doing his thing. Averaged 26, 7, and 6. Like, just a beast. Can't wait to see him when the season starts. Since they got knocked out earlier, that does give him more rest, which, of course, all Mad fans are probably like, yes, like, at least he gets to rest, and hopefully it's not too long of a rest. He should be good to go in shape, and I'm excited for the season. And I'm just looking at these different ones. That 47-point game against France, man, that stood out big time, man. It was like the most in the last 65 years, second most all time. Beat Dirks, however much he scored. I forgot how much he had scored in like a Euro game or whatever, Eurobasket game. But yeah, man, Luka, that 47 game against France, against Rudy Gobert again, just tore up his team. It's anytime this dude is matched up against Rudy, it's just barbecue chicken. I thought that was so funny that he goes off for 47 against Rudy Gobert, which is basically the highlight of kind of a lot of the Euro, him going off for 47 of the Euro basket. But that's pretty much it. Shout out to all Slovenia, y'all did good. Keep your heads up. Luka obviously looks great. It sucks that we didn't sign Dragic because he looked great. But yeah, according to the report, Jake Kidd doesn't think he has enough juice left. So he looked like he kind of did, but you never know. That's against NBA level talent. He's probably thinking through an 82 game season, which he's probably not going to play them all, obviously. And then on top of that, having to last all the way to the playoffs without getting an injury is kind of probably tough to weigh out. And I honestly think I got some more thoughts on what I think they're trying to do with that. But yeah, just want to give out a shout out to Dragic. He was still killing it even at 36. So yeah, shout out to him. Okay, so we have Maxie, y'all. Maxie signed a 3-year, $33 million extension. That's so awesome. And I think that's, a good deal for us. And, it's on like 11 a year. That's good. But I think this deal was done at the time because everyone was kind of wondering, like, why now? Like, why do we do that now? And honestly, it just had me thinking maybe it was similar to the RJ Barrett situation where the Knicks didn't want to put him in. So they basically signed, put him in the offer for Donovan Mitchell. So the Knicks just signed him, locked him up with that, and basically once they locked RJ Barrett with that new extension, he out of trade talks, and then of course Donovan Mitchell now got traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers, so that broke down. And I feel like right now with the way things are going, Mavs obviously need another ball handler, and I think maybe Maxie is being involved a lot in these conversations. Who knows? But I could be wrong, even for the opposite reason. But I think maybe it was like maybe putting an extension on him because he was going to be an expiring contract, and teams like expiring contracts, especially like he was like $8 million, $9 million. So I think putting an extension on him, maybe saying no to a trade, maybe in trade talks right now. and then extending him, taking him off that, oh, he's going to be, 1 year off the books. And there's my son as I'm doing this. All right, now back with excuse me for that. And so about Maxi, I think maybe him getting that extension was us telling another team like, hey, no, we don't want to include Maxi in the deal, which is rightfully so. We need to keep Maxi on. I hope maybe the whole duration of that deal, unless of course it gets us a star, of course. But you know, thinking out loud, of course it would be nice to keep a 3-and-D type guy forward at that's 6'10" and is also a good rim protector, or at least solid for his size. So, I think that was in that, which again, it could be opposite. I could be wrong. It could be maybe we did that so that the money works out. Now people aren't thinking like, oh, we're only going to have him 1 year. Instead, now that he's on a 3-year deal, maybe honestly it could be the opposite too. Now thinking out loud, like it could be the opposite where now this is a more attractive extension, and the money works. It's only 11 million, and he's still he plays good, plays well. Especially if all the other teams were watching us, against the Utah and Suns. I mean, Maxie was making 40% from three or whatever, going off through some of those games, really helping carry some of those wins, in that. So in that sense, like I think he could be a valuable asset. So either way, I still think it's a great deal. I'm glad we locked him up. If whether or not he's going to be involved or it doesn't, I mean it doesn't involve him. I'm just speculating, but it's always fun to speculate. But I had to throw that out there though, with just the timing of it. And another thing out there, that we're getting to is the Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder news. He signed with the Lakers. That's who Mavs fans were thinking we were probably gonna get, since he's the only free agent out there, and a trade hasn't happened. But he ends up signing a 1-year deal to go back to the Lakers. So, I think that's a good thing, because it would have been a very bad look if they would have signed Schroeder and not Dragic, Luka's best friend, which they probably still should have. But that's neither here nor there. That boat has sailed. But I think with all that, with all these things happening, Maxie getting the extension, Dennis Schroeder now going to the Lakers, I think the Mavericks really have their mindset on trying to get a trade. And I think that player is Mike Conley Jr. from the Jazz. Because I don't think realistically we're going after Jordan Clarkson or going after a Bojan, who both easily individually could go for first round picks. Mavs are definitely not giving a first round pick for any of these players, or even a combination of these players. They're saving those picks for the next star that comes around, because we know that's the main piece that we need. We just need that second star, then we could build around that. But right now, we're trying to find that. So right now we're going to save our draft picks, and I think the most realistic target is Mike Conley. And right now it's kind of in a hold-up pattern, because Mike Conley could be using a deal for Bojan, or a package with Bojan or Jordan Clarkson, or all three, or whatever the case may be. So I think they're kind of holding up, but I think he's the most realistic trade that the Mavs could go out and get him. I know we wanted him years back, so that's another reason why when he chose to end up going was it re-signing with, or whoever, or going to the Jazz. Yeah, before he went to the Jazz, we were the Mavs were trying to get him, and he didn't come here with, I forgot who it was we were trying to get, what free agent we were trying to get him to pair it up with to come here. But maybe the return is likely. Maybe we still like him. He comes in and gets that juice off the bench for us. But I think at his age and his contract, which is like 20 something, only 15 guaranteed, but like 20 something million on the books. Like, I think that's the most realistic trade, because you don't have to give up a first rounder for him. And I think a Mavs could swing, a Josh Green in there with Dwight Powell or Bertans or whatever, and throw in, a second or two, to get Mike Conley. Yeah, I think the Mavs should do it. And that helps. I think it works on both sides too, because the Jazz, I mean, they need to get worse, man. They're definitely tanking for Wembanyama, and the more of these, the longer they keep these three, Mike Conley, Jordan Clarkson, and Bojan on the team, that's just lessens their chances of being a really bad team. They're already gonna be a bad, but those three guys, it might keep them, too many wins above where they need to be, instead of in that whether the bottom three or whatever going to the lottery mix. I can't think of it right now, but the more losses the better. And when you have three solid veterans that could help like a championship team level team, that's not good for your chance if you're trying to tank. So they definitely want to get rid of those guys. But I get waiting to get a first round pick for or the best deal possible for these other guys. But then it holds up Mike Conley, and that's just where the Mavs are just in a holding pattern right now because they have to wait and see if he's going to get dealt with one of these other guys or if we can just snag him, just him by himself, which hopefully the Mavs can do. But again, it all has to depends on the Jazz. They have to say yes. But I think that's what the Mavs are aiming for, and whether that's I was just thinking this up right before I got on, and I saw the whole tweet. I don't know if that was a recent quote by Alex Caruso about he used to love wearing his Dirk jersey or whatever, and hey man, all that joggers was promised 25 minutes and everything with the Bulls. With that rookie they got coming in, maybe they move somebody. Maybe Caruso is the guy that maybe they're trying to target now. Who knows? I'd be down for that too. Hey, I'd take a Caruso or Mike Conley Jr. But either way. But I think the Mavs are working on this, and I just want to get this out here because I know it's like only a week. I think it's like a week before like their training camp and everything starts. So I know you definitely want to try and have your team as most set as possible. Going into like the whole media day and all that type of stuff. So. To get everybody acquainted, all the players acquainted, getting used to playing with each other and stuff. But again, it's a hold up now with the Jazz to see what they're going to do. And hopefully the Mavs are aiming for Mike Conley because he'd be a really great fit off the bench to be in that 6-man role, come off and, lead that bench unit. And he can also play very well off ball and run the offense for us. So and he also has an amazing. He's left-handed. I think he's a left-handed, but he has like a right-handed like nasty, just like unbeatable floater. I think it's left-handed, right-hand floater. Yeah, he's a lefty, and I think it's the right hand. He's a killer right. It's something like that. But yeah, he's a killer right-hand floater. Always been a fan. I'm definitely would be glad to get him, especially in like a 6-man role for us. He's a great veteran leader. Would fit nicely and definitely improve what will be my initial season, off-season review. Because I haven't done that. I'm still giving hope. 1 week left before I give an off-season review because I'm giving up hope for something, to come around. And if they can pull off a trade before then, before the season starts and or all the preseason starts, and I give my off-season grade. If the Mavs can pull off and get some type of third ball handler, man, that would definitely increase my projection on their off season. How well they did, and then projection on the season. As I'm stumbling here, it's late, and because I don't have much else to say. Those are my thoughts, man. I think that the Mavs are basically working the phones. And I'm hoping they're obviously aiming for Mike Conley Jr. And that's pretty much it right now. We just have to wait and see. It's more waiting for the Mavericks, man. So I hope everything is good for y'all out there. And listen to this in the future, y'all future people. Y'all take it easy. And let me go ahead and run into this. If the Mavs Rundown is free on YouTube along with the Spotify and the Anchor app. Check it out. I'm AG. Thanks for listening. Remember, cool heads prevail, and I'll see y'all next time on the Mavs Rundown.